Support Rainbow Soul. Check out the Rainbow Soul merchandise for your favorite new shirt. A variety of colors and styles to suit your taste. Show off your love for Rainbow Soul. Get cool designs with your favorite quotes. Designs come in a variety of colors so that you can express your most authentic self. Support Rainbow Soul in spreading the word that queer, gender variant, intersex, transgender is sacred. Rainbow Soul, putting the soul back into queer. Order your unique Rainbow Soul merchandise at rainbowsoul.show.
Welcome to Rainbow Soul, an explorative discussion about spirituality beyond mainstream religions. Hollis Taylor, author, psychic, astrologer, and alchemical mage, brings their non-binary perspective together with fellow drag king and trans man Lacrosse Ortiz, a Jewish Taino with spiritual background of exploration that has led him to an atheist perspective. Join these guys as they explore deep and difficult topics, all related to spirituality, offering a queer perspective, an exploration of interesting topics, and engaging guests to help explore conversations for the Rainbow Soul.
Hey everyone. Welcome to Rainbow Soul. And I am going to say that I'm sorry that Lacrosse can't be here this week. But that means that we have our delightfully beautiful Bright Hawk. Welcome, Bright Hawk.
Aw, thanks. Good to be back, everybody. How you doing?
Well, I want to say that I'm Hollis Taylor, and I'm the host of the show. And I'm a psychic and an author of a book called Divine Androgyny, which is a great book to help you support you in your transition if that's something you're doing, even if it's a emotional transition or a social transition. I found that Divine Androgyny helps you embrace the all of being gender variant, whatever that looks like for you, whether you're trans or non-binary, and that's what it's all about. So, and I'm here with Bright Hawk. Bright Hawk, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm Bright Hawk, obviously Hollis's partner. So I'm a big fan of this trans man and Divine Androgen. And I would just say, as a person who read Divine Androgen, Hollis's book is really insightful and has tools and tips for all folks and partners and allies. But we've all been through something, and Hollis has been through a lot. And so some of the wisdom they share in that book has really got a lot to offer for everyone. I am the author of this beautiful book called The Dancing Hippo, which is a gender-free book. There is no pronouns, no he or she in this book. It is a wonderful book. It's about resilience. It's called The Dancing Hippo. It's about a hippo that totally gets into dancing under the full moon and feeling their groove. And suddenly somebody tells them, "You're not supposed to dance. What are you doing? You can't dance." We've all had that voice that tries to silence us, right? And what do? So there's 3 teachers, 3 wisdom holders that come to the hippo and help them figure out how to shine their light, how to transform and be who they're most authentically meant to be, and to really enjoy their life the way they want to. So the Dancing Hippo for Rainbow Soul family is on sale right now at Bright Hawk Productions. And if you order the book now, not only is the book on sale, we'll give you a free ebook, which has music and Hollis playing the dancing hippo and sound effects. And it's really fun and interactive and beautiful. And our grandchildren love it. And a lot of kids love to have the book in their lap and hear me telling the story on the ebook. So really happy to offer that to folks. And it's not going to last, the sale won't go on forever. So try to take advantage of it this month before we take it down. And I'm obviously a musician. And I guess I would say I'm a spiritual healer in that regard. It tends to come through me through music. And that's, as a musician, I constantly am, when I'm teaching, telling people, when you're a musician, you are of service. You are of service to spirit, and you're of service to your audience, your listener, to take people on a journey. And it's an honor. It's a privilege. It's an incredible thing to be able to do for folks. So whether it's hospice or ecstatic dance, I mean, and everything in between, I have a great love of being able to bring my music into the world, whether it be through hand drums or the Hong Pan art. So yeah, I love music, and it's a great joy to be here. I love coming to Rainbow Soul. Sorry LaCrosse is in here, so happy to fill in when I can. And I'm looking forward to tonight's conversation on crystals and magic, because boy, that's a deep well.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I thought, we've done shows in the past about crystals, but I want to feature also, that's the thing, is that I think that the LGBTQIA culture, that means all of us. That means whether you're trans, whether you're gay, whether you're lesbian, no matter who you are, that I think we need to stick together. And I think that being trans and being non-binary is sacred and it's special. So I also think that spreading that word, that's why I do Rainbow Soul. That's why we do this every week. And so one of the things that Rainbow Soul is trying to do is feature shops and magical people. Wouldn't it be great? Because how many times I've been in a Facebook group where people say, there's no non-binary psychics. And I'm like,
hello.
Here I am. And it's just because they don't know where to find me, right? And so I'm sure there's also people that are like, there's no queer-owned witchy shops. And you're like, yes, there is. And so, if we want to connect with each other, we want to support each other as the LGBTQIA culture. And also we want to connect with each other and see what each other's doing and be inspired by each other. And so I was really excited to find this LGBTQIA shop. I'm like, yes, a witch shop owned by queer people. You got an A. But that's just me, because I just want to support all of the rainbow community, no matter what color you are, no matter how you come to the table, no matter what. I just want to serve us. I want to showcase the people that are sometimes pushed off to the side or ignored. And so then I started looking at their crystals, and I was like, wow, these are really awesome. And they have a great knowledge about the magic of it. So I want to bring out our guest tonight, which is Mike. And he is he helps run Crystal Underground. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me, guys. How are you tonight?
We're great. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming, and thanks for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Well, I'm so excited about this because first, can we just talk about your identity and who runs the shop and who's part of it?
So the Crystal Underground is run by, I'd say easily 85% of the work is done by my wife, Velvet, who is a cis woman, identifies as a lesbian. I am generally the host for our live sales. I identify as non-binary, and I use he, him pronouns. And I do the live sales, and I schlep stuff to and from the post office and things like that. But she is the ordering department, and she does a lot. She does all the invoicing, and almost everything else is done by her. So,
Are we lucky to have great partners?
absolutely, I am incredibly blessed that she is part of my life. Absolutely.
Awesome. Partnership is great. I love collaboration. It's my favorite.
Yeah, we like to call it equitable division of labor.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And cooperation is a beautiful way to come together with anyone you love or care about anyway.
For sure.
Absolutely. And that's actually part of how the shop came to be is I identify as pagan. I'm more of a believer rather than a practitioner, but anywhere I go, I've got rocks in my pocket. I've always got bracelets on. And like as far back as I can remember, I've always had a thing for rocks. I see a pretty rock, I pick it up and put it in my pocket. And she's been in and out of metaphysical shops since she was, 5, 6 years old, because her mother found the path around that time. And between the two of us, we were just like, hey, why don't we do this? And so we're very proud to create a LGBT owned and run crystal and metaphysical shop, and just be very out and proud about the fact that we were LGBT owned. And we welcome everyone, no matter what your faith or your orientation or your personality. As long as you're not a jerk, you are welcome. I had to censor myself there. I'm not sure what the what the rating here is.
You can cuss. You can cuss. You could definitely.
Okay. Yeah, like that's good, because we actually we have a part of our setup, because I'm going to show you guys crystals. Part of our setup is a gridded out table where each box is numbered, and that used to take up a whole table, and then we changed the setup a little bit. Well, we're secretly 12-year-olds, and when we were numbering the boxes and we got to box number 69, we had to put the genital carvings in box 69. Well, when we undid half the grid, the box 69 was no longer in existence, and I made it through half alive before people started complaining, where's box 69? So I actually had to create a box out of order and label it 69. So yeah, good thing we are not really censored here, because that's not exactly PG.
No, it's fine. I marked the explicit box just in case.
Yeah.
We've had some topics on here. Yeah, including that thing, genitalia. Yeah. So but I'll tell you what I think is awesome about crystals is that you can hold them in your hand. And most of us would agree that you can kind of feel the magic in them. And it gives you this, it's almost like hugging a tree where you can feel Mother Nature in your arms.
Absolutely.
In your hand.
Like, even we have a couple of customers who belong to the Judeo-Christian religions, go to church on the regular basis, and do not identify as any form of pagan or Wiccan. And they even agree there is an energy that you can feel from these. And I just think that's a beautiful thing, that if you are open, you can feel the energies of the earth coming through these pieces that you're holding.
Absolutely. One of my favorite crystal stories amongst muggles, I used to work in a corporate environment. This was decades ago, and I was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I had crystals on my desk. I just always happened to have that kind of thing nearby. And the CFO, the chief financial officer, comes over to my desk and he goes, "You into crystals?" And I said, "Yeah, And he goes, "Huh." And then the next day he comes in with a box And he's like, well, we went to Arkansas and there were crystals everywhere and they told us we could check. So here, check them out. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow. I'm going, he's like, well, do you feel anything? So this is this old dude, white hair, pot belly, CFO dude, right? And I'm looking at it. I've never seen this side of him at all. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, I looked through the box of crystals, and this one in particular has some real qualities that are very interesting. And he said, well, why don't you pick out a couple? Is a shoebox full of crystals. Keep a couple. If you like them, keep them. I have more than I know what to do with. All right. So I go through and I picked out a couple of some real choice crystals. And ever after that, we'd come by, talk about crystals, talk about rocks, talk about where he'd been. They started sharing music. And I was like, who'd have thunk it that in such a straight-laced environment, crystals, rocks, everybody knows that if you spend any time with a crystal or a rock, you can feel something. Not every single one will speak to you, but there will be a lot of them that will. And that's
yeah.
You just never know.
Absolutely. There are some stones that and crystals that when I hold them, I'm like, they feel dead to me. They just feel like a piece of rock. And there are some that I'm just like, I'm really vibing with your energies. And not every stone is going to speak to everybody, but I believe that everybody can find a stone that speaks to them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of different kinds. And I think sometimes some people get really caught up in what the different meanings are. But I think some of them do have some, you could probably feel the intention, and that might be different than what the book says. But
absolutely.
I think you could go either way.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. One of the things I really love about energy-based work and excuse me, rocks and crystals and things like that is a lot of it is very personal and individualized. There is no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever feels right for you, whatever vibes for you, that's what you should be doing. I can sit here and I can say, you're looking for something to bring in prosperity. Well, you could use pyrite, you could use golden or silver sheen obsidian, you could use green adventurine. There's a long list of stones that have that type of energy to it. But if you sit here and you go, yeah, none of those really work for me, but I am really digging on this green amethyst or this fluorite, that's what's speaking to me, then that's what you should be using for that intention. If that's what's speaking to you, that's what you need to be using. So I can make suggestions. You can do a Google search and be like, hey, what stone is good for X, Y, and Z? But,
excuse me.
And that's a great place to start, but that's not always the end all be all. Because what you want and what vibes with you cannot necessarily be brought out of a book.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. And that's one of the things that I learned over time. At first, I thought it had to be in the book. I guess it's the Virgo part of me is like, it should be in the book. But then somebody that really loved crystals was like, no, if you just hold it in your hand and that's what you feel, then that's what it is. So I think that's fantastic. I want to just notice what Eve is saying. They said, well, what else would one put in a box 69? Well, maybe paired items that interconnect in the unique ways, like with a top and a bottom conjunction.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's funny.
Thank
you. I actually can't see any comments. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
Sandy said it's aventurine. I guess I'm not sure what that one is. I don't know. That's one of the types of crystals, right?
It is, and it can be green, yellow. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I've heard it and seen it spelled and pronounced either AV or ADV. It is actually the same stone, just it's got the same chemical components and everything. If you break it down to a molecular level, it's the question of who's calling it what. It's like pyrite versus fool's gold. It's the same thing, but it's got different names for it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Eve asked a question, I think is a pretty good question. Any ideas for a stone that would help one's legal education as a law student? Eve is in college to be a lawyer.
Oh, okay. I actually have 2 pop to mind right away. The very first one, where is it? Here we go. This is yellow fluorite mixed with bands of purple fluorite. And yellow fluorite connects with your solar plexus chakra, and purple fluorite connects with your crown chakra. So it activates your instincts and your intelligence and higher reasoning. A nickname for yellow and purple fluorite is the genius stone. So yellow and purple fluorite mixed together would be very good for activating your higher intelligence and helping you draw your own conclusions from what you're reading and learning, rather than just regurgitating from the book. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. The second that comes to mind is hiding from me. Where is it? There it is Realgar. And Realgar is this super juicy, looks like a piece of cinnamon gum. Please don't eat the crystals. And Realgar is a copper and sulfate mix. And it activates your higher reasoning. It is wonderful to keep near you during finals or any exams, stuff like that. It is a huge help to students or anyone who works in a very intelligently charged environment where you're having to absorb a lot of information, break it down, and process it into your own conclusions. So Realgar and purple and yellow fluorite mix are the first 2 stones that come to mind. But again, there are thousands and thousands of different kinds of stones, and these 2 may not work for you. You may find something else that works better or differently, but those are the first 2 that come to my brain.
Great. Well, thanks for answering that. I'm sure Eve really appreciates that.
Oh, I'm happy to.
Sandy stated that fluorite helps with concentration. I assume that's, yeah.
Fluorite absolutely can. Fluorite has a lot of great properties. I know Velvet loves using it when she works with the Fae, because it makes, instead of helping her with concentration, it makes her feel a little more flighty and a little more free. But some people, they'll find it to be very good for drawing them in and focusing them. So that's a great example of off-book use.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think you don't know unless you just experiment and you kind of just go to what calls you.
Exactly.
So, and I think that when we approach magic, can we also like sort of put our intention into stones?
Oh, absolutely. And I actually think that your intention is as important, if not more so, than what the book says the energy is. That's one of the things I love about clear quartz. Clear quartz is the most programmable stone out there. It has a wonderful cleansing energy, but at the same time, it doesn't really have any intrinsic properties beyond boosting anything else it gets put with. So clear quartz, you take it, you put whatever energies you want into it and pair it with your other stones, and it's going to just boost the heck out of them.
We basically live on a quartz mountain.
Oh, I am so
everywhere.
jealous right now. I'm so jealous right now.
Well, good news is that it's an Airbnb. So
Oh.
You can visit us. It is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very grateful. And it's always such a trip when you're just walking around the hood and
Pardon me.
down, and there's this, giant white crystal emerging out of the ground, and it's just everywhere. We went for a really amazing hike one time onto the other side of the peak across from us, and we got to this plateau, and when we got there, we're like, whoa, it almost looked like it had just hailed. But what had happened is like a crystal had exploded, and it was spread all over this plateau. White
That's
crystal.
amazing.
Little ones like the size of hail rocks, and and bigger ones, and we were just like, whoa.
You kind of felt like you just kind of landed in like a crystal forest. There weren't many trees. Like there were trees surrounding it, but it was like this opening in the forest that was nothing but white crystals of all different sizes, some humongous, some of them really small. And I was just like, what a interesting place to be right now. To just be here. And it did feel very high vibrating. And I even said to Bright Hawk, wouldn't it be fun to bring people for a hike back here and have like a ritual or something?
Oh my God, absolutely.
Because it's just like, you just feel like you're connected to the divine or something. It's just so powerful.
There's something about the mineral geological energy, I think, that is, I don't know, certain places on the earth that's really, really strong. And I feel like we live in one of those places. They call it Boulder for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Colorado for you. Yeah, and now look at this. Let's see. First of all, Eve said thank you.
Awesome.
They have worked with blue fluorite previously.
That's great.
And Hannah is asking, there are stones for empaths. I can't remember what they are. Help.
That I'm not having any thoughts off the top of my head for in general. My first thought was we want to go to something that's going to help balance your emotions and help center you, since empaths are prone to taking on others' emotions and becoming overwhelmed and not recognizing your own emotions. For me, that's bringing to mind one of one of my personal favorites. It's like one of my top 5 stones, and that's lepidolite. I'm actually wearing 2 lepidolite bracelets at the moment. And I love lepidolite because it is all about balancing your emotions and helping you just stay centered in yourself. I use it. I am bipolar. And I love the energy of it. It's really been helpful for me for helping to manage my peaks and valleys. So lepidolite is great for balancing your emotions and keeping you centered in yourself. It's also really great for people who are trying to overcome addictions, because you're trying to get over that dependency. So you have to learn to live with yourself again. So lepidolite is great for that. And let me see. I'm having a thought. I'm trying to remember.
Jessica here made a suggestion. Empaths equals black tourmaline.
That was actually where I was going next. Great.
Okay.
So would be black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a wonderful protection stone, specifically for psychic protection. So it can actually help with blocking bad vibes, negative vibes, and just kind of surrounding yourself in a cocoon of stay away. I love it for a protection stone. The same with yellow tiger's eye. Yellow tiger's eye is an amazing protection stone. One thing you want to think about when you are getting your stones, and this is not true for everybody. Everybody could have a shape or style of stone that they absolutely love, and they only want their crystals in that shape. Some people will only collect spheres. Some people will only collect points and towers. But if you are just starting to work with crystals and you are trying to learn to control the energies of it, the shape of the crystal can help affect that. A sphere sends the energies in all directions. You put this in somewhere in the room and it's going to just permeate with that energy. So then there's also DTs. It's got a point on either end, so double terminated. That sends the direction, the energy in two directions. So these are wonderful to use as wands. Helps you send the energy out where you want it to go or banish it from where you're trying to send it, that sort of thing. So DTs are great for use as wands, send the energy in two directions. Points send all the energy in a single direction. Excuse me. And so the shape of what you're using can affect how that energy is dispersed.
And sometimes I wonder about, like, have you ever seen more like natural broken open? Like amethyst normally comes this way. It's sort of the way it arrives. Yeah. And that always appeals to me because it reminds me
it's a more natural, less processed energy, a little more wild. This is actually pink amethyst, or not pink amethyst. No, yeah, pink amethyst. I'm colorblind, so Velvet actually has to write the color of stuff on it for me, because I'll sit here and I'll pick up, like, I'm like, so look at this gray stone. It's really cool. No, that's aquamarine. That is raw aqua. As far as my eyes are concerned, that's like a silvery gray. But so all of our stuff has little tags with a cheat code on it for me.
Great.
So, but yeah, so like this is pink amethyst. Sorry.
Do you think the natural shape of a stone, when I deal with stones, I usually like the natural shape. I usually like the unprocessed shape. And I feel like I say, okay, well, if I'm meant to be lucky, or if I'm meant to bring money towards me, then this will bring it to me naturally.
That is an absolutely valid thought process. Some people, they're just like, no, I think specimens are pretty. I don't want it polished. I don't want it made to look artificial. I want it the way nature made it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I actually have a chunk of pyrite in my pocket right now. That is just a pyrite specimen. Unmessed with, that's just how it got dug out the ground and then cleaned off. But I do also really like the smooth polished stones. Something about that is just very soothing to me. Everybody has a preference, and everybody has a way they work with the energy. If you're more of if it's meant to be, let it happen naturally, then a natural stone is probably what's going to work better for you because you're more receptive to that type of energy.
Right.
What about stones that are not from the earth? Meteorites.
I actually do not have any meteorites yet. They have been ordered and they are on their way. But I do have what I absolutely adore. They are called tektites. And tektites form from meteorite strikes. So when a meteor comes through the earth, as it goes through the atmosphere, it gets superheated from all the friction in the atmosphere. and it is like literally hot enough to vaporize. So when it crashes into the earth, it vaporizes plants and bugs and dirt and other minerals that are in the area. That vapor rises up. It then solidifies as it cools in the atmosphere, and then literally it rains rocks.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So if you've heard of moldavite, that's how moldavite is formed. Moldavite is only found in a certain part of Russia because when the meteorite strikes there, the chemicals in the earth and the different compounds that are present naturally
maybe because it's so cold.
are what are required to form moldavite. This is an Indonesian tektite called a pearl of divine fire, because if I shine a flashlight through it,
Oh, wow.
so that is with a flashlight right behind it.
Yeah.
I don't want to blind you guys. So
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
really cool.
So that is called a pearl of divine fire. It is an Indonesian tektite, and it is essentially Indonesian moldavite. It has the same energy properties, that it boosts energy, makes things happen, makes you motivated. I actually can't handle them too often or too much because they make me manic. But it's a really fun mania. Like, let's get stuff done. So yeah, so that's kind of formed by something out of this world, but not actually out of this world.
Very cool.
Meteorites have been harvested for minerals and for use in crystals and such. We just have not owned any yet. So the yet is important.
Right. Yeah. And I just want to say, first of all, Sandy, I'm with you that I like the palm stone or the thumb stone. I have one of those right at my desk here.
Yeah.
And it's a little jade.
Yeah.
I think this is called jade, I think.
I don't know. I'd have to see a little.
It's green.
That actually might be adventuring.
Okay.
A lot of things that are called jade are actually adventuring.
I didn't buy it. Someone bought it.
Yeah.
And gave it to me.
So a lot of things get mislabeled. If someone just doesn't know what they're looking at. I've actually had people go, "It's green. It must be jade." No. If that's the case, that's jade. It's actually malachite.
Yeah.
That's jade. It's fluorite. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but she gave it to me with the intention that that I would walk my most authentic self, and I would do things the way that I seen fit, because we were in the middle of a situation that might have been rather uncomfortable for both of us. And this is what she gave me. So I've kind of just held it at the intention she gave it to me in,
which is a beautiful thing.
On my desk.
That is a beautiful thing. So yeah, I love palm stones. I'm not as much of a fan of worry stones for me personally. I actually prefer, one of the reasons I love this piece of pyrite is there's a little indent right here that is just perfect for my thumb to sit in.
I love that.
So it's like it's meant to be held in my hand right like this.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like perfect for me personally to hold. And I love when a stone is like that. So it's in my pocket and I'm just holding it right like that. And I love that. But worry stones.
Yeah, that's kind of what
worry stones are shaped kind of like guitar picks and have a little indent in them, meant to, let's get that on camera, meant to just sit here and rub at it, which that nice polished smoothness is just, like I said, very soothing to me. A lot of people feel that way.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So, it's got like little purple in it.
Yeah, this is dream amethyst. This one.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah.
I've had positively gone into situations where it was very, very nerve-wracking, and I knew it was going to be. It was a high pressure situation. Went to a little shop the day before, found the perfect little rose quartz that I could just have be a little thumb hold and just hold on to that thing. And I introduced my book, The Dancing Hippo. One of the bits of wisdom is, what are you willing to be? I'm willing to be delightfully surprised by how
There you
sweet
go.
this life can be. So I'm holding on to this quartz and I'm saying I'm willing to be delightfully surprised. And I'll tell you what, that super, super stressful situation where I could not imagine how it was going to smooth out, I truly was delightfully surprised. And I very much believed that the rocks in my pocket helped ground and center me, helped connect me to divine inspiration. And it went beyond better than I could imagine. Like, I did not have the imagination for how it unfolded. So
That's awesome.
It works.
It works if you believe it.
Right.
Your belief and your intention, our thoughts shape the universe. The philosopher Descartes, you've heard the phrase, I think, therefore I am. Descartes is the one who said that.
Right.
And that is a very flowery way of saying our thoughts shape the universe. What you think and what you believe come into being. So I think that these rocks are going to help me. I think that this is going to be calming and centering. It's going to be calming and centering. It's going to help you. Your thoughts, your intentions are the biggest part of what makes things work or fall apart. If you go into something going, oh, this is going to be a shit show, then it's going to be a shit show. So that's just kind of how the universe works as far as my belief goes.
I totally agree with you, Mike. In fact, that's this little stone. It's probably absolutely nothing. Okay. Let me just tell you, it's probably just something really simple. I actually got it in a hot springs in Wyoming. And while I was sitting in the water, in the hot water, it's wild water. It's going past me. I'm very grateful to be at a free hot springs, and I'm sitting there with all these stones, and I picked this one up, and I allow this to be my inspirational rock, that from nothing comes something. And although it may not have a special, be a special stone, it is for certain. I know where it's from. I know when I got it. And it inspires me that I can manifest my dreams, that if I do want to travel the world, I can get there. Just like I wanted to travel the country and I got there.
Yeah.
So,
it's special to you, and that makes it special.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a fun little piece that I like to keep around. And Hannah asked, would Moldavite work for someone with ADHD who struggled with executive dysfunction?
It could.
Describe that one for us. So for those who don't know what
Moldavite or
yeah.
Okay, so Moldavite, I showed the Indonesian tektite, the pearl of divine fire. That's formed by a meteorite strike. Moldavite, Moldavite is the same process to be formed, but only happens in Russia. And it's a stone of motivation. It can, but some people find the energy of it chaotic. So it's entirely possible that you can try it. I'm not saying don't. You may find it to be exactly what you need to help with your executive dysfunction. Or it may have you, I'm going to start this project, and you get up and start it. And then you go, oh, wait, I needed to do this. And you go over here and you wind up with 12 things started, but not finished. I'm guilty of that. I've done it before. So, so it may help you, or it may send you off in 12 directions. So it's definitely worth trying, but I don't know that that is the end all be all answer.
We're with you, Hannah.
It's a good answer.
Said that she said I do that already.
Thank you.
That's the Moldavite.
I'm very aware.
So Velvet just handed me a piece of Moldavite.
Oh wow.
That's from her personal collection.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so this is not for sale in our store. This is from Velvet's personal collection.
I'm gonna try to feature you. Hold on.
Yeah.
It just takes me a second to do it. There we go.
Wow.
So
Oh, neat.
Oh, wow.
yeah, so that is the
Through.
moldavite and the pearl of divine fire.
They almost
So
have a glassy quality to them.
it does. It does have kind of a glassy quality to it. Whereas the tektites they look transparent or opaque until light gets behind them, and then they kind of glow.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
and that's what different materials were vaporized by the meteorite that formed them. So
Okay. That's really great. And I just want to let Sandy know. Sandy, right after this, if you go to Crystal Underground and more, there's going to be a great sale.
Yep, I have a live sale at 9:00. We do 9:00 every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. We have a live sale. So come see us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you guys like looking at this, now Eve asked, have you worked with argonite? My spouse swears by it.
I have not personally, no. And I'm actually not familiar with the properties of it off the top of my head. Oh, argonite.
We have some.
We do?
Yeah.
What do we have?
What's your quartz rose?
Oh my God, yes.
It's right there, dipshit. Bravo! Encore!
I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
You're doing a great job, Mike.
So yeah, we do have argonite.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice.
and this is an a goddess symbol, called a triquetra. It is a Celtic Trinity knot. But so we have some, but I have not worked with it. Velvet's telling me I didn't like it when I tried to work with it. So, she has a better memory for that than I do.
Maybe Eve can tell us what they find powerful about it. What qualities it helps with. It's just endless. It's like you said at the beginning, there's so many different stones you can work with, different crystals.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to keep all of the properties in your head.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It blows my mind. I can't keep all that stuff straight. And Quellen
Oh, that's a good question. That's an interesting question.
What are your thoughts on synthetic crystals such as cherry quartz?
Wow.
Synthetic crystals. You're talking about so cherry quartz or opalite or terahertz. My personal opinion, 99% of the time, a man-made material is not going to have the vibrational energies that a naturally occurring crystal or mineral has. My one exception to this is terahertz. And that's hematite. Where's my terahertz? So, all right. Well, here's a carving made out of. Oh, there you go. I knew it was here. So, terahertz is a blackish silver.
I like that.
This is a man-made material. It was created by a Japanese scientist using silicates and pollution. And it is designed to wipe away electromagnetic pollution. So using pollution to fight pollution, I don't know how much witchier you can get. So I just think that's awesome as hell. But things like opalite and man-made malachite, I don't really feel like they have any soul to them. They are just, some I might as well be holding an empty plastic bottle that used to have water in it. The energy is about the same. That's my personal opinion. If you have a different experience or opinion, that is entirely valid. But
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I've seen a variety of different products that are designed around protecting us from EMFs and, different things you can wear, different pendants. And, I don't know. I guess it has there. Yeah. I think what you've said is very true. If you think it's valid, if you think it's helping you, it's helping you.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's, in my opinion, a synthetic crystal like cherry quartz was what the person who commented had brought up. I've never handled cherry quartz. We really don't deal with man-made materials often. We do have some things that are made out of opalite because we have some customers who are like, but I like it. It's pretty. No judgment. You like it. It's pretty. I'll get some for you. Like I said, because it's essentially, in my opinion, like holding an empty bottle of water, maybe you can fill it up with whatever energy you want it to hold. You can also, because it doesn't have any intrinsic properties, use it for color magic.
What about magnetism, the heavy ore magnetic stuff? What do those do for you? What are they about?
This is magnetic hematite.
Oh wow! So what does it do? How does it help you? Or
so magnetic hematite, fun little history fact, is actually what was used to make compasses before we had the ability to magnetize metal artificially. So that is what used to be made into compass needles. It is naturally magnetic. It has all the properties of hematite, which is grounding, centering, but the magnetic property that's added to it also helps with, and this is actually scientifically proven, helps with blood flow and anti-inflammation. So a magnetic crystal like magnetic hematite, you're going to want to use for help with arthritis and things like that, because it's going to encourage the blood flow and stuff.
Oh, that's very cool.
That's good to know, because sometimes I swear I inherited my dad's legs. The circulation doesn't go down there. And I'm thinking, so if I put a little anklet, that might actually help. The doctors, they don't do much about it. But,
Yeah, exactly. So that is one of the benefits of something like magnetic hematite. So.
Okay. Well, I've really enjoyed what you've shown us tonight, Mike. In fact, I'm hoping that people will be happy to come and catch your live in about 7 minutes.
Yep.
Eve said aragonite is beautiful. It siphons psychic pain held in dominant hand or over the heart chakra.
There you go.
Some sensitive people might want to, depending on how your psychic energy is based, you might want to be aware of how that works.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a quick question from Hannah before we do my tarot reading. What would be the natural equivalent to an opalite? An opal stone?
Some people will see opalite and say, oh, it's opal. No, it's opalite. So natural opals are usually an opaque white with multicolored sparkles in them. Whereas opalite, and here we go, this is where it's going to get X-rated here. First one I found was one of our badges. So opalite is and it can be.
Is it only if come from Australia?
No, this can be made in a factory anywhere that has the materials.
No, I meant opals.
No, opals. You can find opals in any number of countries. Fire opals only come from Australia, and they are a very deep red with multicolored flecks in them. So that's fire opals only come from Australia. But white opals can be found in a bunch of different countries.
I'll have to connect you with a friend. Sorry he didn't catch the show tonight, but He lives in Australia and he polishes his own stones. You guys should
Oh
probably
my God.
know each other.
Yeah.
What I'm currently thinking, because he lives in Australia and he has some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Hook him up with Crystal Underground's Facebook.
I
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
will post. I'll post this on his page. He sometimes catches the show. So tonight I'm doing a reading right before we close here. Love is love. This is a love deck, and the love deck is all about collaboration and being queer. So that's what that deck is all about, and that totally resonates with me and hopefully most of you. And so the first card is about our past, and this is about our balance with the universe. Hold on a second. There we go. This is about our balance with the universe. And if you take a look, let me go ahead and feature myself for a moment. There we go. And if you take a look at it, you can see that the goddess sort of has all the animals and the whole of creation within sort of almost in her belly, right? And this is about goddess. This is about that energy of being connected to each other and to all living things all over the earth. And that's what this is all about. That's what's carrying that vibration. And this has to do a lot with our past. And the right now, though, is this interesting card, which is the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, you can see that he has lots of stuff in his pocket. I like people to be able to read my lips, is what people that need to read my lips. I want them to be able to see my lips. And so you can see that there's lots of stuff around him, and it's a mastering of all the things he's gained. And that's what this is giving gratitude for all the stuff we have, all the minerals that we collect from the earth, and all the ways in which we bring in the gifts of the earth. And so that's what this card is about giving thanks for it and honoring it with the beauty that it deserves. And that includes crystals, and including any of the crystals that Mike has here with Crystal Underground. And in the future, this card is about intimacy. This card is about moving intimately forward and travel. So this card is indicating that in our future, we're probably going to be doing a little bit of traveling, and also in an intimate way, like a one-on-one, like road trip with your friend, with your bestie, which makes me think of, wait a minute, isn't Jessica on a road trip with her bestie? Okay, but wait a minute. So as you can see, this card here is about that. It's about that intimate connection and about travel and having all of your stuff together. The universe is saying, you are ready to go. Things are going to take off. Get ready. Get yourself ready. Get your stuff together. And that's what this is all about. So this future card is saying, if you're going forward, get ready. And so the whole reading with the past, with the beautiful goddess that held the earth within her, and being thankful for that, and being thankful for the all of what we have harvested, right, with the king, and of course that one as well, where we're going forward, intimacy, and make sure we have all of our stuff in our sack. So that's the reading for tonight. And I'm working on unfeaturing me now, so we can bring Mike back, because I want to say thank you.
I want to say thank you guys so much for having us on and giving us the chance to share some stuff. I have to bounce out because I'm supposed to be starting my own live in about a minute. So everyone take care. It was wonderful to spend some time with you. Come on over and see us on the Crystal Underground. I got a whole lot more to show you.
All right.
That's great.
All right.
All right.
We're on Crystal Underground and more. All right. Good night, everybody. And thank you to the viewers. Thank you to everybody that's watching the show tonight. Everyone that commented. If you share it, like it, subscribe it, please spread the word. We're trying to get the word out there, help Rainbow Soul grow. Just by liking, just by commenting, things like that, you help us grow. So I want to say thank you. Thank
Great
you to all of
participation and
you.
questions. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So much fun. Thank
Yeah.
you. We'll see you next time.
Big love back to you, Sandy and Eve and
Aw.
Jessica. Safe trips, and thank you and good night.
Thank you for watching Rainbow Soul, a queer perspective on spirituality beyond religion. We appreciate you sharing the show on your timeline. Follow us on social media of your choice and join our Facebook group, Rainbow Soul. We want to hear from you. Share your topic ideas for Hollis and Lacrosse. Explore upcoming shows and interesting guests. The Rainbow Soul Facebook group, where we build community of questioning seekers. Rainbow Soul, where spirituality is our medicine.
Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So what exactly does that mean? It is a figure of speech in reference to a person who has dabbled in many things rather than gaining expertise by only focusing on one. So much knowledge and wisdom out there at our fingertips, yet so difficult to grasp. Everything and everyone has a little piece of the truth, and it is up to us to determine what our truth is. In this busy world, creating the time, the space to nourish our bodies, mind, and soul has become a difficult task. So let's take a moment to learn something small, in whatever way the universe decides to reveal it. It could be someone's story, a quote, a spiritual practice, maybe a song or a movie. The opportunities are limitless and all around us if we just take a moment to see. We are all students of life experiences, so let us learn from one another. There is no right or wrong path. There is only your path and your journey. So let's begin our adventure and explore all the world has to offer, and let us become a master of none.
Divine Androgen, a sacred path for gender variant people. A book dedicated to every drag performer, transgender person, and other gender variant people that have passed to the other side, that have suffered the wrath of our binary world. Thank you for living your truth and treading us a path. We are sorry that in many cases that cost you your life. Now, we ask for your assistance in helping humans evolve so that we may all live in peace and equality. We honor your life by walking our own personal path of authenticity. Get this amazing book all about living as a non-binary person, a gender variant person in a binary world. How to navigate it, how to harvest your true self when you're surrounded by binary. It's a guidebook for people searching for their true selves. The book is intended for people that are gender variant and can be helpful for people searching for a more authentic self or clearing trauma. This book is about treading your own path. It includes my story in the beginning, all about how I figured out how I express gender and now how it comes out for me, how I discovered it, and how I dealt in the world as a response to that. And it also details out the ways that I unfolded myself in a way that helped me live in a binary world, even though I was non-binary. There are steps in here to help you define your own path. Hollis uses the word divine androgen. It's like a label to define someone that defines their own authentic path, regardless of their gender expression, in a way to say that it is sacred to be non-binary, to be transgender, to be queer. It is sacred. Not religious. No. We're talking about more of a spiritual, conscious awareness of ourselves and our path on authenticity. This book is about defining your path of authenticity, as authentic and unique as that is for you. You can also order the book at divineandrogen.com